The story today is one of the most popular mysteries from modern France. It's about a secret passageway found at the Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel, an ancient monastery perched atop a tidal island in the middle of the Bay of Mont Saint-Michel. In medieval times, this place was thought to be impenetrable because every day twice it was covered completely by water, cut off from the outside world. But now a new mystery has appeared here. It's about an underground passageway that was recently discovered beneath one of the Abbey's towers. And there's something very strange about it. Let me explain. A few weeks ago, a team of historians were working on an exhibition project inside the tower when they found a brick wall which hid a secret door. Behind it was a narrow spiral staircase leading down into darkness. Nobody knew this staircase existed, not even in the most detailed maps of the tower. Curiosity got the best of them, so they turned on their flashlights and descended. At the bottom, they found a room, and in the center was a large bronze bell hanging from the ceiling. This raised some questions, like how did such a massive bell get up there? And who put it there and why? They learned that the bell chamber had been sealed off since 1789, since before the French Revolution, when the entrance to the room was bricked over, deliberately hidden. That means no one had entered this room for more than 2 centuries. Until now. But another question was, what was the bell for? Their research revealed nothing about it. There was no record of this bell, or this room in any historical document. It was like it didn't exist. The bell itself had no markings or inscription, but they did find a series of numbers cast into its frame, which they eventually decoded to reveal the Roman numeral 13. They believed this must have been the 13th bell placed within the tower. But then, why was it hidden? Why cover up its existence? One theory was that it was cursed, like maybe it rang only when someone was about to die. But if that was the case, then shouldn't it have rung long ago? After all, this bell had been here for 800 years. Another theory was that it was used only for particularly solemn occasions. But again, if that was true, why hide it? Wouldn't they want everyone to know about it? Or perhaps it was simply too big, too loud. Maybe they needed to dampen the noise somehow, so they covered up the bell chamber. But then, why go to all that trouble? Well, we may never know the truth behind the bell, but the next part of the story is definitely real. That night, the team decided to stay late and watch over the bell just in case it rang. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, just after midnight, it began to ring, echoing throughout the tower and the entire island. And right after it stopped, everyone heard it. The sound was loud enough to wake people up in their beds. Many residents ran outside wondering what was happening. Then something unexpected occurred. As the last notes faded away, they saw figures running through the courtyard. At first, it looked like ordinary monks dressed in habits and sandals. But when they reached the entrance to the abbey, they walked straight through the doors. They kept going as if they weren't seeing the barrier in front of them. And that's when everyone realized they were witnessing something unbelievable. The monks weren't running forward in time. They were running backward. They were running in reverse. And it wasn't just these initial few. More and more monks appeared, flowing out of the abbey like water from a fountain. They walked past their colleagues without saying a word. No one stopped them. No one asked where they were going. Everyone just watched in stunned silence. There must have been dozens of these figures, but nobody could tell exactly how many, because new ones kept appearing, and the old ones kept disappearing. You see, they didn't just run around the courtyard once. They continued running over and over again for quite a while. And if that wasn't strange enough, there was something else. Whenever the bell rang, a bright white flash would appear between the monks, a bright flash like a camera. And so this went on for hours. At first, the whole town gathered together watching this spectacle. But later, everyone went home to sleep, except for those who wanted to keep watching. Among them were the team of historians who had found the bell. They decided to return the next day to continue their investigation. Now, luckily, there was a security camera trained on the bell tower, recording everything. So they checked the footage from the previous night, and that's when they made another incredible discovery. After the first wave of monks had passed by, they could see themselves standing next to the bell tower, watching what was happening. But they weren't just standing there. They were walking. They were walking backward, moving toward the closed doors of the abbey. They were about to walk through the doors, follow the monks back into the building. But then, just as they reached the doors, the footage cut out. The camera went black for about 12 seconds. And when it turned back on, they were gone. They tried checking other cameras, but none of them showed anything unusual, nothing except for the main road near the abbey. There, they could see the same team of historians walking along the road, hand in hand, laughing. They were walking away from the abbey, but that shouldn't have been possible. Everyone knows that Mont Saint-Michel is an island, a tidal island. Twice a day, it's completely surrounded by water, cut off from the rest of the world. The only way to get there is via a causeway, a road that connects it to the mainland. But in order to reach that road, you have to cross the bay, a bay full of sand and mud, full of extremely strong currents and unpredictable tides. The bay is considered one of the most dangerous stretches of water in all of Europe. Yet somehow these historians managed to cross it. They walked away from the island, disappeared into the rising tide. And that's when the footage cut out. Later, the water rose even higher, covering the entire causeway. It was as if the bay was protecting them, shielding them from view. And because of this, they couldn't be tracked. No one knew what happened to them, where they went. Some people believe the historians vanished into thin air. Others believe they were swept away by the tide, lost forever beneath the waves. But a week later, surveillance cameras caught them again. Here they are entering the abbey. And if you look closely, you can see they're carrying equipment, metal detectors and other tools used by archaeologists. They were about to do some serious digging. This time, they didn't disappear. They kept walking until they reached the gift shop, where they stopped and vanished, becoming one with the crowd of tourists. Nobody knows what happened to them. Nobody knows where they went. But I believe that Mont Saint-Michel is keeping secrets, secrets that it doesn't want us to know. These secrets are buried beneath the abbey or hidden somewhere inside its walls. And occasionally, when the conditions are just right, when the stars align, it gives us a glimpse of what happened all those years ago. Perhaps the monks aren't really ghosts, but time travelers from the future. Perhaps they come from our time, from the present day, and they're trying to change history. But why do they need the 13th bell? Is it a signal to open a portal? Or maybe it's the key to unlocking some kind of technology. Whatever the reason, we may never know the truth because Mont Saint-Michel is keeping these secrets close. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support keeps this channel alive and lets us bring you even more creepy, mysterious content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.